What is up, guys? It is your girl here, the one that started it all, and I have another movie review for you guys. Sorry, this movie was once more suggested by Manoj K. I hope I didn't butcher your name. I really hope I did not butcher your name. But they had given me a request to watch Dangle. I hope I didn't butcher that name. Um, the thing about this movie, it wasn't bad. I usually don't like movies about sports and stuff, you know, but this was a good movie because basically these were about girls who were training to be wrestlers. The thing of it is, in Indian culture, almost like other cultures like Middle East and things like that, and those places like that, the women were to know their place in those kinds of cultures because what was expected for the women to do is basically, take care of the house, take care of the children, do what women were expected, what was acceptable in those culture. And they do face some backlash because, first off, girls don't wrestle. That's unacceptable. That's not cool. And second of all, it's very unbecoming. It's against the culture, against tradition. But their father was like, no. So the father was once a wrestler back in his glory days, but because he had an unsupportive father, his father was unsupportive, saying, "Hey, get a real job. Stop this nonsense. This is ridiculous. You're humiliating yourself. What are you trying to do?" You know, um, not listening to his father, he gets in a tournament, a wrestling tournament, to win the medal for his country, for India, and it doesn't happen. He loses. Then he makes a vow maybe when I have a son, I shall train him, and he shall, win the medal for India. He shall do what I couldn't. But he had four girls. When he has four daughters, he sort of gives up on that dream. That is until one day his girls come home and he asks, "What happened to you guys?" They said that they beat up a couple of boys because of derogatory insults, because they were giving them a hard time because of their gender and things like that, and they beat them up. The father, impressed, thinks that, okay, maybe my dream is not lost. Maybe there is something these girls can do. So he starts training them to be wrestlers. All right. At first, he cuts their hair, which is understandable, just easier to work with, and of course, it's not an easy advantage for the opponent. Second of all, he wakes them up, work out, come on, train, do something, train, and he does various training ways so that they can be better. And they do start entering tournaments, and, they start winning, things like that. One of the sisters goes on to start training into another facility, but notices that the methods are slightly different. So what she was taught and what she's being taught are very, very different. And it kind of starts making her lose, a lot of tournaments, a lot of, and like on international level, like losing streak. And she gets mad at her father, basically telling him, basically going off on him, not happy, and they start to fight, but she wins that fight. Of course, one of the sisters, "Hey, show him respect. He went out of his way to teach us this, he just wants the best for us." And she gets mad, like, "No, blah, blah, blah." But eventually she starts to go into the main competition, and she starts losing here and there, barely getting the points that she needs. It isn't until she takes something that she learned from her father and uses it to beat her opponent. And it makes her win and everything else. And at the end, she does give her father a hug and, shows him the respect and, starts to be appreciative. Um, like I said, I'm not really into these kinds of movies. It was good. I would give it a 7. I would give it a 7 because these girls and the father, they did get a lot of backlash for this. This is not okay. This is not right. But the fact that they kept at it, screw that. Tradition or no tradition, I have the right to live my life. I have a right, And I don't know, it was okay. It was all right, I did like the other movie that Minjo, did more because I related to that more, and I don't know. Like I said, I'll give it a 7. I give it a 7. Maybe I'm missing the point of something. I don't know. It's just fathers. You know, the father-daughter relationship isn't always easy. Fathers are to be the tough. Things like that, and mothers are more the nurture and loving. Not saying that fathers aren't loving, but it kind of goes to show how different fathers are and how the father-daughter relationship can sometimes be compromised. It's like how can I say, like very bumpy. Sometimes it can be bumpy and other times it can go smooth sailing, like my father and I, we're okay. It's better when we're at civil areas because, my father, he always wants to be right. And with me, it's like, yeah, I want to be right too, but it's like, I don't want to be bullied, things like that. But, and of course, there are times where I had to put my foot down and go, no, I'm not going to be bullied and things like that. But, every father-daughter relationship is different. This one is more about, this man's relationship with his daughters and how he tries his best to make them into individuals, without having them. Yes, you are a girl, but you shouldn't let your gender, define who you are. It is, part of you, but you shouldn't go by what tradition and what a society wants you to be because of your gender. That's not how it should be. Whether you're a girl or a guy or someone who's non-binary or, transgender, you should not let your gender or whoever you are get in the way of who you are as a person. Never let society tell you who to be and when to be it, because at the end of the day, it's your life. They're not going to live it for you. They don't pay your bills, So that, I mean, with the movie wise, the father-daughter relationship, and how sometimes you have to break away from society and break tradition, you know, sacrifice that to make you happy. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, they're not paying your bills. It is your life. No one can live your life but you. But you. You are the writer of your own story. So make it a good one. And that's kind of like what I got from this. He was teaching his girls to break tradition. Backlashing or not, keep going. That's it. That's what I got. Despite it being more like not really about sports, but it was centered around that. It's mostly because of that. Breaking tradition, not letting anyone tell you what to be and who to be. You are you. So, like I said, I'll give it a 7. Like I said, I'm not really into the whole sports kind of thing, but I did get the hidden messages. At least that's what I understood. At least that's what I got. But I'll give it a 7. I would give it a 7, and that's my review. That's what I got, and I'm sticking to it. So you guys have a good day. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you guys have not watched it, go and watch it. Maybe you'll like it more than I do. Like I said, I will give it a 7. We'll give it a 7. All right, so that's what I got. And thank you, Munch, for this one. Um, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll give it a 7. That's what I can. I did my best to understand. I'm one of those people, like, I want to see, I kind of overlook, I kind of like overthink things and try to look at every corner. And those are the things that I got. The father-daughter relationship, how it differs from the mother and daughter thing. And, the whole breaking of tradition and, how society expects you to be. That's what I got from it. But I don't know. Like I said, hidden messages. So you guys have a good day, and I hope you guys will stay safe. Right. Bye.